Right. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good evening, everyone. So, welcome to this discussion on OSH legal requirements in business management. So, joining me together is Afif Shakir, Absha Aidid, and also Ahmad Fikri. And later we will be covering on three component points. Firstly, why OSH legal requirements matter for businesses, OSH 1994 and its key features, and how FMA 1967, Factory and Machinery Act, complements OSHA with related case study that later we will be showcasing from each of our discussion speakers for today. Right, so let's get through the first question. So firstly, why are OSH legal requirements important for business management? So let's start with Afif. What are your thoughts about this question?
Okay, alright. OSH laws protect employers and reduce workplace accidents. For example, in December 2023, a lift maintenance worker, R. Dinesh Kumar, died at a Penang shopping complex because safety procedures were followed. DOSH issued a stop work order and initiated legal action under Section 51 of OSHA 1994, Malay Mail, December 2023. This show compliance prevents tragedies and legal consequences. That's all.
Right. How about you, Fikri? What are your thoughts?
I think they also help businesses avoid penalties up to 500,000 ringgit under OSHA and protect reputation. Compliance is a part of risk management.
I did.
Okay. Other from that is safety improves productivity and morale. Company is using HIRAC, which means a fundamental risk management tool used in OSHA, a systematic approach to identify potential danger in workplace. A HIRAC means HI is hazard identification. For RA is risk assessment, and RC is risk control. So this often see fewer disruption and lower absenteeism.
Oh, so what were you saying just now? High rec. So hazard identification,
Hazard
risk assessment, and the RC part?
Risk
and risk
risk
control.
compliance, risk control.
Okay, so risk control. Right. So I think great points from all of you. OSH compliance isn't just about legal, it's also strategic. So basically, when we comply with OSH in a way that we actually reduce costs, boost reputation, and align with ESG, environmental, social governance goals, which investors value. Now, for the next question, what are the main objectives of Occupational Safety Health Act 1994? What say you, Afif?
I think to secure safety, health, and welfare of employees and promote self-regulation.
And for me, I think it applies to most workplaces except armed forces and domestic work, emphasizing shared responsibility.
Exactly. So OSHA moves away from the prescriptive rules to proactive risk management. So making employers and employees partners in safety. Now, for the third question, so what are the key duties under OSHA 1994? I think we can start with ID. What are your thoughts about this particular question? I did. Could you say again because you're actually muted?
Oh, sorry, I forgot. Okay, what are the key duties of OSHA 1994? Uh, so the employer must provide safe system of work, training, and conduct hierarchy. Like I said before, the hazard identification, risk assessment, and risk control. Safety committees are required for workplaces with more than 40 employees.
Okay.
Then, employees must cooperate, report hazards, and refuse unsafe work.
Right. So we can see here that both sides share responsibility. So this partnership is the backbone of OSHA compliance. Now we go to, I think, the next question, also about OSHA 1994. If I'm not mistaken, back in 2022, there were some amendments were made about this occupational safety and health act. I think we can start with Fikri. So, what are some of the amendments about this particular act?
I think from my point of view, it is about the coverage expanded to public services and statutory bodies.
Oh, other than that, is a mandatory OSHA coordinators and directors have personally liable for breaches.
Right. So, I think in a way that we can actually say that for the amendments that were done back in 2022, in a way strengthen accountability and make compliance more critical than ever. Now, before we go to, the next question, I would like to bring to your attention about a
Yes.
particular case study that happened back in August 2022. So this is actually, oh, excuse me. Right. So this is actually the case that happened in 2022, August. So a 21-year-old worker died from electrocution while replacing a fluorescent lamp in Port Klang. So he fell around 2.88 meters and was pronounced dead at H-Star Hospital Tengku Ampuan Rahimah, Klang. So Dosh later issued an immediate prohibition notice and investigated under OSHA. And you can see here. So if proper training and safe work systems were in place, I think this could have been avoided. So this shows that why enforcement matters. Right. So let's
Great.
go to the next question. I think it's also related. It's just that how all of you would see this particular question. Now, for the next question, how does FMA 1967 complement OSHA? Who's going to start first? Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Thank you, Arvin. I think FMA focuses on only on machinery safety and technical standards.
Oh, I think other than that I know OSHA covers broader health and safety. Together, they form a Malaysia's OSHA framework.
Right. So, based on understanding from both of your points, uh, we can see that actually these acts work hand in hand. So, Factory Machinery Act for technical compliance, OSHA for holistic safety culture. I think to wrap things up, based on our discussion today, we can
Yes.
conclude that one, OSH legal requirements are vital for safety, compliance, and business success. So OSHA 1994 emphasizes self-regulation and shared responsibility. And recent amendments back in 2022 strengthen enforcement. So Factory Machinery Act 1967 complements OSHA by focusing on machinery safety. So I think before we end our discussion today, we will get another pointers, maybe possibly from each of us, to see that maybe we have some other points that we wanted to include in our discussion today, especially about possibly Factory and Machinery Act or even the importance of OSHA, in your opinion. So let's start with Afif. So in your own words, why do you think OSHA is actually important?
Jap. Edit lo.
All right, so
Uh, so
let's start with ID.
all right. So why is OSHA is important? Because it's preventing suffering. It's preventing workplace fatality, permanent disability, and chronic illness. Then, mental well-being. A safe workplace reduces stress and anxiety when employees feel safe. You know, this is the importance of OSHA. So
Right,
other
so
than that, it will impact the social impact. The workplace injury affect more than just the worker. They impact families and communities who rely on those individuals.
I think what we can say also, based on what I did have mentioned, uh, in other words, the approach of OSHA is an holistic approach in which it doesn't only observe what is taking place in terms of safety during work or during a particular task is done. It happens before, during, and after. So it's an holistic approach to see on three sides of the timing. So how about you, Fikri? Do you have anything else to add to this particular discussion?
Uh, I think for my last comment, I think from my experience, I think OSHA is very important to be implemented to any organization. Uh, uh, and the most important one is the supervision by the highest members. You know what I mean? In the organization, uh, while the workers are doing their work, I think they need to be supervised by the supervisors while doing their work. I think that's the most important because even though they are going through safety trainings and all that, but sometimes people tends to do mistakes and all that. So by supervising the workers from time to time, this type of injuries, accidents, the one that we neglect to be happened, I think we can prevent it from happen. So supervising the workers, I think it's quite important, and can be implemented in any organization.
Right. Okay. So thank you, Fikri, for your quite comprehensive thinking about OSHA. Now let's come to our final point from our fifth. What say you about OSHA?
Okay, I think OSHA is very important because it keeps workers safe by representing accidents and injuries at the workplace. It also makes sure employers follow safety rules to protect workers' health. That's all.
Okay, so I think that's all
Wait,
discussion
Irving.
for. Oh yeah, all right.
I don't talk about the importance of high reps, right?
Uh-huh.
So let me tell you the importance of high rep. High rep is a proactive rather than reactive process. What does it mean? So instead of waiting for an accident to happen and then investigating why, HIRAC, otherwise, allow employer to predict and prevent incidents. So, like OSHA 1994, conducting a HIRAC is a legal requirement for employers to ensure the safety of their workers. So that's the content of HIRAC. I'm sorry I don't told you earlier, but this quite
Importance in our discussion
important.
for yes.
I don't think you're interrupting. I think basically
That's a good
what you're saying
point.
about high right is actually very important. I think
Mm,
at the end of the day, whatever, especially what you said about the importance of high right also needs to be implemented, especially with us future engineers to be working at the workplace. I think that's all for today. So basically, thank you everyone. Thank
Yes.
you everyone who is going to watch this particular discussion. We have talked everything basically about OSHA 1994 and its importance towards business management. Right. Thank you. Great day.
thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, guys.